Man, like I hate when people say, using references is like cheating. First off, slap them in their stupid face. I said it. Got my permission. So hey, what's up everybody? This is Tony. Listen, I've been getting a lot of people asking me for advice about how to become a better artist. Because they see I'm extremely old and I probably know some things. Well, it's true. So I said to myself, hey, listen, let's boil this down into maybe 10 things I wish I knew as a beginner artist. I figured if I can give you these little tips, it might help you guys along your journey. Along your journey? God, look, my brain is already starting to atrophy. It's all downhill from here. Oh, God. So tip number 1, draw from life. Sounds pretty silly, but it's really, really important. You see, drawing from life, you learn what things actually look like. You're not making stuff up in your head. You learn about the human form and how the body kind of rests in certain positions and how to represent these things on a page. I think what happens is we rely too much on old tapes of what we think things look like. So like if you take an example of a face, you know, people just draw it a certain way, but in reality, a face might look really, really different. So stop making stuff up. All the answers to what we really need to draw are out there in life. So, you know, draw from life, people. Art is about what you choose to admit. It's all about simplification. Steal like a pro. Yes, folks, you have a license. You have a license now to steal. Steal everything. Steal it all, man. Steal it all. Steal it. For real. I'm not really saying you need to steal things. What I'm really saying is, if you're gonna steal like a pro, which means to look at other artists, take the bits you like, and learn from it. For example, if you like how one artist uses line work, take that. If you like how another artist uses color or perspective or just their choice of poses, take that too. It's all okay as long. All right, I want you to listen up, people. Like, really listen to this. As long as you don't directly copy it. That's not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to steal concepts. We're trying to steal ideas of how to approach art and stand on the shoulders of other artists before us and use what they've learned for ourselves. You know, there was a great quote by Pablo Picasso that kind of sums up this whole thing. He said, good artists copy, but great artists steal. So steal like a pro. Next tip, use references. Look, if you don't know how to draw something, just get some references, man. Don't be a dummy. Man, like I hate when people say, using references is like cheating. First off, slap them in their stupid face. I said it. Got my permission. Because what they're saying is stupid, you know? Look, if you don't know how to draw a hand, look at it. Look at a hand. See how it's drawn. If you're having problems with a difficult pose, look at a pose. Draw from that. I think it's just a taboo that people think that if you're drawing from like photo reference or whatever, you know, that it's a bad thing, that's somehow cheating. And it's not. Look, some of the great artists of our time have used photo references. So you don't see people talking crap about Norman Rockwell, and he uses photo references like crazy. So yeah, people, use references. When you get stuck, just look it up. There's no such thing as artist block. That's right. I said it. There is no such thing as artist block. Let me tell you why. I used to really believe this a long time ago. If I can't draw something, it's just artist block. I just can't figure it out. But here's the thing though. We all get stuck sometimes. Of course, there are times that we're just not inspired and, you know, you just gotta grind through it. You gotta approach art like being a 9-to-5 job. You show up every day, you do your time, you draw. Then you pack up and you go home. And you repeat the process the next day, over and over and over again until you're dead. What I mean by this is, what you really need to focus on is just being there and doing the work. Some days will be good, some days will be bad. But the thing is, you have to be there for brilliance to strike. So just focus on being regular, consistent, and making art. And what will happen when you do that is it'll take the pressure off of having to create something brilliant. So if you don't know what to draw hands. You can always draw hands. Or do studies. Do challenges for yourself. There's an infinite possibility of things that you could draw. I mean, there's so many things. So listen, don't believe the hype about the artist block. There's way too many things you can do. Which leads into my next thing. Draw every day if you can. Just have a regular schedule. Set some time, even if you have 30 minutes a day, something like that. But just make sure it's regular at a certain time. Look, you can afford to squeeze 30 minutes a day to draw by yourself. Most people can do that. Hell, look, if you can even sketch on the train, commuting between work and school or whatever, just do that too. The thing is, just have a certain time, keep it regular, and do it every day. Because what you'll find is that you improve so much. You improve so much just by that simple task. Repetition. Repetition is so important because look, when you get old, like me, you forget stuff. Look, do I remember all the parts of the body? No. Do I remember all the muscles? No. Do I remember what I had for breakfast? No. The point is, look, we forget. We forget. It's just natural, right? So what we do is, when we repeat and practice and do studies over and over and over again, we eventually learn parts of the body. But the thing is, we'll forget it eventually. We will. We all do. Even the greats do it. So when we repeat and we build that muscle memory with our connection between our hands and our pencil to paper, it's like anything. It's like playing an instrument or sport or anything that you want to get good at. And just get good, bro. You just have to do it over and over and over again, and then keep retraining your brain because you're gonna forget. But look, repetition. Build that muscle memory. Build that visual muscle memory too, because suddenly you'll have to hey, I gotta draw a car. And then you're like, wait, how do I draw a car again? Oh yes, I drew a car a couple weeks ago. Things like that, which kind of leads into my next thing. Make an idea board or a style guide. I first heard about something like this a long time ago, but I didn't realize how important it was. Jackie Chan, the guy that's good at the kicky punchy, he uses a idea board in his kicky punchy studio. He takes clips from magazines and newspapers of all the things that he would love to see in his movies, or just ideas of interesting fights, interesting situations, just all sorts of inspiration. So when he has those moments where he can't think of ideas, he just opens up his idea book and look, he's got a whole bunch of stuff he can pull from. I personally use Pinterest. So what I do is I pin art that I like, vehicles that I like, machinery, everything that kind of inspires me. And then I go look back later and go, listen, hey, let's draw this machine parts. Who knows? Maybe I'll need it later. Oh man, I really like the way this hat looked. Let's see if I can make something like that in the future for another project. So the good thing is I have this library of all this cool stuff I can use later and help me when I need that creative push, which kind of goes back to the whole thing about steal like a pro. So I just referred to the beginning of the video. Next thing. Oh man, I really believe in this. Look, supplies don't matter. Don't get caught up in the supply game. It's really easy to get caught up in thinking that if I don't have this pen, or if I don't have this Cintiq, or if I don't have who knows what, that you can't make art. Look, tools don't make the artist. Art makes the artist. If that makes sense. Wait. Yeah, I think, well, you know what I mean. Yeah, don't get caught up in supplies. Look, you should be able to draw with anything. If you can grab a pencil, then that's good enough. You don't need a Cintiq. Cintiqs are awesome. I have one myself. I love it to death. But it is not the end all be all. Don't get caught up in supplies. Just make sure you're doing the work. Supplies will come and go. Just work on the fundamentals. Ooh, and that kind of brings me to the number 9 thing. Study the elements of design. Now, if you don't know, the elements of design are line, value, color, texture, shape, size, etc., etc. I think that's all of them. I don't know. I kind of forgot. Anyway, focus on these things when you're drawing. It can make such a big difference in your work. Because when you're thinking about these things like line weight, texture, color, the way things shape, repetition, sizes, and how they kind of work together. These are all important things that help make your art really, really dynamic. So when you're drawing, try to think of these things. I'll probably make a video in the future kind of talking about this in more detail. Like, look, this is my first time doing like a proper tutorial, folks. I'm still working this out. Sorry about that. I'm still learning. I'll get better at this. And I think the final thing that I wish I knew as a beginning artist was to push through. Now, sometimes you're drawing something and it's coming out perfect. It's coming out awesome. Those times, yeah, it's not a problem. It's easy. It's like things are going perfect. There's not a problem. But sometimes when you're working on something, oh man, and it's just hot garbage. You just want to give up. I can't tell you how many times I've come into those situations of like, this is poop. I don't want to work on this anymore. But look, here's what you got to do, people. You got to push through. You got to push through. Trust me. What pushing through does is a couple of things. One thing you got to think about is it's better to have something instead of nothing, right? And then another thing that pushing through does is it builds a little bit of self-confidence within yourself that, look, even if things aren't going the way I want it to be, I know I can finish this. Because sometimes you'll suddenly come up with an idea to solve the solution of whatever you're drawing, and it looks good. But the thing is, if you gave up, you would have never known that. You wouldn't have learned that lesson. And that's another thing about pushing through is you learn valuable lessons about creating. Look, if you were perfect all the time, then you're just, I don't know, a god or something. But we're not gods. At least, I should speak for myself. But the point is, you just got to push through. I know it sounds hard, and it sounds impossible, but trust me. You just keep focused. Finish the drawing. Push through. And trust me, you'll build a self-confidence in yourself that you can make things happen out of bad situations. No, but seriously, push through, people. I can't stress that enough. That is, just don't give up. All right, so yeah, I guess that's it. That's 10 things I wish I knew as a beginning artist. Yeah. I know I got more things that I probably can tell you about this topic, but look, this is my first time doing a kind of a tutorial like this. I don't know, is this a tutorial? But listen, if you like this and you want to see more of it, let me know. Let me know in the comment section. Remember, ring that bell, hit that like and subscribe, and I'll make more things like this in the future. So, but yeah, it's really it's fun to do, to pass on this knowledge to you guys. Look, I'll get better. Look, I'm pushing through right now. And I'm learning from this. Next tutorials might be a lot better. So, first time. All right. Love you guys. Take care and bye-bye. Oh man, I really need to write a script or something like that. Ooh, maybe that's what I learned from this. Anyway, yeah. So this is a kind of new thing. I think I'm just gonna draw something in the background while I